to make sure we're not wasting any time getting you prepared for this week with the Masters, the best golf tournament, of course, of the year. Welcome back, Joe O, Sammy P. This is Bet Sweats on the BetMGM Network. Now, joining us on the show, we've got our buddy Kenny Kim here at KendoVT on X. He's the host of the Fantasy Golf Degenerates podcast. How you feeling, Kenny?
Good man, ready. It's our Super Bowl week. This is my favorite week of the year. I look forward to this for 51 weeks. We're finally here. It's going to be fun.
Picture you having a calendar just hanging out at home and you just draw lines through every week until we finally get here. When do you have all of your Masters bets made? Is that already in the kitty or will you add throughout the week? When are you going to be finished betting the Masters?
The majority was right now. This morning and last night, I put most of my bets in. If I see some changes during the weather and stuff like that, I'll probably go back on Wednesday and double check. But all of mine are in. I feel like all my guys that I bet they're gonna get their numbers are gonna get worse. So I wanted to get the best I could possibly get.
Okay, we're going to get to those guys in a moment, but just approach for the Masters. I know you break it down with the numbers and the stats and the form and everything, but this is the course where the history matters more than any other.
Mhm.
Do you find this to be a simpler handicap, the Masters, because it is typically a shorter list of guys that can actually win it? Or do you think it has its challenges just like any other week?
I mean, it has its challenges because it's one of the best fields we're going to see all year. It is condensed. There's only 96 golfers, but and like 15 of them are basically unbettable. They're just like the old guys. So you got like 80 guys to choose from. It's basically like a signature event, similar to that when you're betting with all the best guys. But now you add the live guys. I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of live, but the only reason they're here is because of their course history. More than likely, they've won this event before, or have had success in majors, or did well at the Masters last year. So bringing them involved definitely adds a different type of wrinkle to the process.
When I look at the first two live guys on the board, I don't know which one I like more. And obviously that's why you're here. We've had success with Rahm in the past, but I remember betting Rahm to win this event at 8 or 9 to 1. And that
Mhm.
price is now double. So DeChambeau and Rahm right now at BetMGM are both, yeah, they're both 16 to 1. Do you lean one way or the other with those two guys?
I go Rahm over Bryson just because Rahm has had more success, at Augusta over the years, and he's a top 10 machine over on Live, whatever that really means. And so I would probably go with him. Bryson has had his troubles here. Last year was his best year, but it really was one good round. He went crazy in round one and basically lost strokes rounds during the weekend. I think this course still baffles him a little bit when it comes to it. So personally, I like Rom over Bryson.
Okay, so you're not completely writing off some of the live guys as far as outright, correct?
No, I would definitely think about Rom. I went Xander instead, but I would think about Rom. Kepka is always a bet at a major, at 35 to 1. I think you see him this weekend. And I sort of like some of the long shots. Patrick Reed, 75 to 1. Sergio Garcia, 66 to 1. I mean, Sergio's been playing solid golf third at Live Miami. He had a win in Singapore, another sixth place in Riyadh. You know that he wants to make this Ryder Cup team now that the Europeans are letting the Live guys play. He's friends with Luke Donald. This means a lot to him, former champion. I think he has a chance. I think Reed, always plays this course well. Numerous top tens, numerous top 20s. He went played a couple of events on the DP World Tour, top 10 those. He had another top 10 in Live last week, one in Macau. Yeah, I think both of those guys are live too.
So let's break down the outright list. How many are you going to have? How many do you have now, and how many do you think you're going to have on that list?
I have like five, I think, right
Five.
now.
Okay.
I'm five guys. A majority are like it's like 22 to 1 to 75 to 1 around there. I really like Xander. This week. I think that number at 22 to 25 to 1 that you can get for him is borderline disrespectful. For a guy who won two majors last year, who has like four top tens at Augusta in his last five appearances. I know he had the injury, but leading up to this week, the last time we saw him was at Valspar. That was the single greatest strokes gain approach numbers he's ever had in his career. And coming in, you can get him 22 to 25 to 1 when last year he was where Rory was. 8 to 1, 9 to 1. I think it's a good value pick, and I think he could win this event.
The one guy I just can't hit submit on, Kenny. I don't know why it is. And maybe it's because I missed the best number. I could have bet him at 60 or 70. I keep putting Hovland in the burner at 40 to 1, and I just can't hit it. And I don't know why. Maybe you have a guy like that you feel some type of way about, but you just can't get there. For me, it's Victor Hovland. I can't hit submit with my thumb.
Yeah, I mean, there's one guy that Hovland, I can't get behind this week because of what he said after his win. I mean, he basically just said he was lucky. Like he was missing shots, but he was missing them in the right spots, and he still had no idea where the ball was going. And this is after a win, right?
Hmm.
So I mean, like I can't get behind him when he's thinking like that. The guy that I have is Cantley. Like I think his number's going to drift to like 40 to 1. In some places, he's had the lead in the back nine heading into of Augusta a couple of years ago. His iron game's been very, very strong. I've thought about it for a while, but I just don't think that I can do it.
What about matchups? Are there any specific matchups that really stand out? You think, okay, this is a good way to make some money?
We have a couple up on a new site that's a sponsor of ours. It's called Profit X. It's me and my co-host. He likes Connors over Neiman. That's a matchup that you really can't get in very many books. But we have that on that site. We also have, I think that one's one that I like. I haven't looked too deeply into matchups yet. That usually comes on Wednesdays just because I'd like to see everything when it comes to weather and stuff like that. And you don't really see too much drift or for the numbers when it comes down to the matchup bets. So I haven't really looked at the matchup bets too much so far. A couple of props, but not many matchups.
Okay, let's go props then. Is there a prop or two that you can share with us?
I got two that I like. I like Taylor Pendrith as a top debutant. You can get that at 8 to 1 right now. The guy is coming off a fifth place finish his last time out. He could pound the ball out there a long way. He's got that nice ball flight. Iron game, definitely above average. Good short game. I do like Taylor Pendrith a lot. So 8 to 1 is top debutant. And I like Patrick Reed as top live guy. I think you can get him like
Mm.
10 to 1 to 12 to 1. For Patrick Reed as the top live, I already talked about how much I like him, coming into this event. I'm a fan, one of the really grinders out there who loves the Masters. This is his Super Bowl, just like us. He comes out there year in, year out, plays well. And this year it seems like he's really been ramping up towards getting to, his top playing level at this game, playing, Asian Tour events, playing DP World Tour events, not just the live events, getting those reps in. And he's had a pretty good season. So I like him as a top live guy, maybe to shock some people at 10 to 12 to 1.
Talking Masters, of course, with our guy Kenny Kim, Fantasy Golf Degenerates podcast. Follow him on Xtendo VT. Are there any guys that have great course history? They're going to get bet as we inch closer and closer to Thursday. People are going to jump in. Oh, well, course history means so much here. And this guy's in top 10 3 years in a row. This guy's always in the mix. Any guys that have course history likely to get bet that you want nothing to do with?
I'm a little worried about Oberg. Little worried about Oberg. I mean, his course history is small, but he did finish runner-up last year. Slightly worried coming in. His form hasn't been great. He's been really bad around the greens, especially this season. I think 80th in this field in strokes gained around the green in the last 24 rounds. And there's really only like 80 guys that have stats, right? So he's been like one of the worst around the greens. I worry about him. I think a lot of people will like him. I do think he's going to win multiple Masters in his career. I just don't think this one's the one leading up to it, and I think he should be somewhat popular.
So I understand from a content standpoint when people don't want to give Scotty Scheffler to win a tournament, especially this tournament at 450. I understand all that. That said, I know some people that would never release it publicly, but will buy that insurance just in case he does what he does and bet a little 450, 460. Is that something you consider, or do you just see the price and run far, far away?
Not this year. Let's say there's only been 3 back-to-back winners of the Masters in its history. It's Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, and Nick Faldo, right? Is Scotty in that realm? Maybe, but it has been his longest win drought in the last 2 years. Currently, right now, he did finish runner-up the last time out. But you look at it, and it's that win drought. It's hard to win back-to-back. He won, I think, 3 or 4 events leading up to the Masters last year and was basically the same number. So it seems like you're not any of the value. Last year, I think it made a lot more sense. He came in with 3 or 4 wins leading up to the event. He was by far the best player in the world leading up to that time. 7, 8 to 1, maybe I can get on board with that. But the same odds as last year for a guy who hasn't been close to form as it was last year, it seems like it's negative EV.
So just so everyone knows, Rahm, Koepka, Sergio, Reed, Schauffele. Was there any other names that I missed that you're high on this week?
Probably my favorite bet this week, and it's a long shot. I think it's
Yeah.
the most disrespectful number out there. It's Sepp Straka. You can get him 90 to 1, 80 to 1, 70 to 1. Now, in my opinion, Straka's been the second best golfer in the world this season, right? A 1 win, I think 4 top 10s, 7 top 15s. He's 7th in strokes gained total, 6th in strokes gained tee to green, 5th in strokes gained approach, 2nd in green in regulation, 2nd in overall proximity this season. His first outing at Augusta he finished 45th, 41st. His second outing was 16th last year. So he has his improvement. If you look at the numbers, the highest percentage of winners at Augusta have been their 3rd time, their 4th time, or their 9th time. Those are the highest percentage of winners in times played at Augusta. And I think that 70 to 1 number, 80 to 1 number, you can get them at like 60 to 1 with 8 places. You can get them 50 to 1 with 12 places. I think that is the number I am going to pound the most. I'm a huge fan of his this week, and I would not be surprised if Sepp Straka shocked the world.
And to Kenny's point, as of right now, there's a 50, a 60, a 70, a 75, and an 80. Mm-hmm. There's a $30 gap between the best price and the worst price, and you got to get the best of the number. Last thing I wanted to ask was about Tiger. Vegas guys like Jeff Sherman will tell us that the cut prop is the most popular prop. The make, miss, the cut. They're writing mid 6 figures on Tiger. Obviously, we don't have Tiger this year because of the injury. It's going to be weird to look up on Thursday, Friday, and not see Tiger, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he's going to be there Thursday. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. But yes, it's going to be strange not having him there. It really sucks that all the injuries that he's gone through. It's horrible. But I mean, I think the era of Tiger is done. We need to shift over to these new crop of guys and give them the flowers they deserve. Tigers, I think, is in the realm of Jack and Arnie doing the ceremonial first swing. I don't see him ever being, in contention or anything for golf ever again. Maybe in the Champions Tour, but I think his PGA Tour career is finished.